Welcome back to another spiritual blog with the courageous sage. Good intro. Today I'd like to talk about the Zodiacs. The sun sign being where the sun is in your conception, where you were born on this planet. So, if I were to say where mine was, my sun sign would be in the house of Leo, which is the lion, regal, could be prideful, could be a little over the top, but I've worked at making myself very relaxed into myself and confident in who I am, not so much trying to overdo anybody else, but be a light like the sun. So there are the sun signs, but there's also a moon sign where the moon was in the constellations, because if you look at it, it's a big circle, how these zodiacs go around the globe every night. And there is a Mercury sign, there's a Venus sign, there's a Jupiter, Mars, there's all the planets, and Uranus, Saturn, the planets. They're all in different places and different signs during your conception. And to get a full view of your chart, you should look into each one individually and get an understanding of what each planet represents to you. And so, there's the 12 zodiacs, the first being Aries, which there's 4 cardinal signs, there's 4 fixed signs, and there's 4 mutable signs. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn are the first 4 zodiacs of each season. They begin the season, and they represent, as cardinal signs, the beginning of a new element or a new experience. And so they start off summer, winter, fall, and spring. I prefer to call it autumn, though. And basically what a cardinal sign is this is the way it is. They have the idea, they start, and then they have another idea, and another idea, and another idea. But they go with their idea the whole time, so they go like this. That's a cardinal sign. And then there's the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And the fixed signs being very stubborn, I'd have to say. They're the most stubborn of the zodiacs, but they represent determination, ability to stay grounded in their selves, being very focused, I can do this, and this is the way it's going to be. And the last is the mutable signs, which is represented by Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And mutable means they're very flexible. They can support anybody in their endeavors by being able to, with a fixed sign, they can support them as in help them with their idea, but also throw in their own flair and organization skills, because they're very, they go with the flow. They don't let it become rigid. They don't let it become too structured in their lives. So I'll just go on to talk about each zodiac a little bit. Aries being the head, the first zodiac. Aries being a very strong-headed, very militaristic, organized, determined, fiery sign, and is ruled by the planet Mars, and is a very tough cookie. The second sign being Taurus, which is the sign of very stubborn and strong-willed, the sign ruled by the planet Venus, which represents beauty of Taurus. Tauruses are amazingly beautiful, very caring and strong, but they won't let anybody budge them, so they're very grounded. They're an earth sign. And then the third sign is Gemini, Gemini being the twins, and is, I think, ruled by Mercury, but that one's up to you to look into. And they're the sign of dual kind of communication. They're very, they can be back and forth between their communication. So the best thing a Gemini can work on is allowing your personalities to become very close friends. And they're represented by air and are the biggest talkers in any crowd. They love to communicate, and they're very heart-based people as well. So the fourth sign is Cancer. Cancer being the most emotional of all the zodiacs. Cancer is ruled by, I guess it's Venus as well, so we'll see, maybe. But Cancer is the Cancerians, the crabs, and are very, they can become very pinchy, like, they pinch people sometimes. But that's only if you scare them or shock them. But they're very loving, very nurturing, and they will take care of the people that are close to them with all of their heart and are very loving people. And I love, my Venus is actually in Cancer, so, which is representation of love and abundance for me. So my love and abundance is in the most emotional signs. The fifth being Leo, the lion, regal, prideful, a little too prideful a lot of the time. Very good-willed, though. Their will is very bright and loving and comes from a pure state of fire. They are very compassionate and strong-hearted. They are the heart of the Zodiacs. But I'm not going to go on and on about Leos. Leos already know what they are, so. The sixth being Virgo. Virgos being the earth angels. They are the aspects of grounded, present beings. They're very present wherever they're at. Yeah, so they're good nurturers. They take care of the earth. They humanists, naturalists, very wonderful people, Not to say not everybody's wonderful, but, Virgos are very, they want to help people. And the seventh being Libra. Libra being the scales, the balance, weighing options. My Mars is in Libra, which represents Mars being the planet of war and sexuality. So by balancing my war, or being the balance between war and balance between sexuality, I am a good aspect to communicate how I feel about a situation because it's unbiased and I've weighed the options in those situations. But Libra being another wind sign, and they are an aspect of communication as well, and just the ability to judge accordingly, truthfully and honestly, the other zodiacs almost, but I only know so much about Libras. The eighth being Scorpios, the most sexually driven of the zodiacs. Scorpios are very strongly emotional, and their emotions and their sexuality are driven together. They're also can be stingy, they can sting you because they're a scorpion, but, and the ninth being Sagittarius, the most righteous, childlike sign of them all. It's a fire sign. It's the half horse, half archer, and is the ability to directly communicate through a very flexible way their opinion, and they're free-spirited. They love to just go and do whatever they want. They don't want to be tied down. They don't want anybody to hold them back. They just want to be, and they want to be as much as they can. And they're ruled by Jupiter, the biggest planet out of the solar system. Because the sun is not a planet, but the Leo's ruled by the sun. So, the ninth is Sagittarius, just said that. The 10th is Capricorn, the most structured and organized and very strategic zodiac. They're earth sign, they're half goat, half mermaid kind of thing, and they love the water, so they're very usually close near the water, but they're on the land, so they'll be up on the rocks or something like that. But they love a good strategic game, a nice relaxing day by themselves, reading a book, or but also getting things done and organizing their life. They can sometimes be a little too demanding in organization, but they are genuinely want the best for abundance for everyone. So 11 being Aquarius. Aquarius being the beat to their own drum. They'll do what they want when they want, and nobody can tell them how to be themselves. They're a lot like Sagittarius in that way, but Sagittarius being supportive and flexible, Aquarius being very fixed, and nobody's going to change their opinion. They're ruled by, I think it's Uranus. Uranus being the planet of enlightenment, and they are we're in the age of Aquarius right now, and they're very free-spirited as well, and they will express themselves however they want. They'll probably be the most creatively dressed, and all of the people in a room you'll notice when you see an Aquarius. My rising is an Aquarius, so that's where the sun was rising or something like that. Something, I don't know, whatever. But the 12th being Pisces, the most open and free kind of zodiac. I mean, I said others were free-spirited, but Pisces is really free because they have the entire ocean to swim in. They've got the biggest ability to travel the entirety of the world. Pisces are an emotional sign as well, but they are more supportive and balanced in themselves, represented by the two fish tied by a rope or something. Pisces are great. I'm so glad to have met Pisces in my life. And that's the 12 zodiacs. But the thing is, we are all the zodiacs. We're not just one. We are the entirety of all the zodiacs, and we are all the planets, and we are all the stars. And it's up to you to take each zodiac and embody it and realize the benefits from each one. Take only the most beneficial aspects of each one and allow it to become your truest expression. So, and you're all the planets as well. So the sun being the soul, the moon being the emotional, nurturing aspect, Mercury being communication, Mars being sexuality and war. Then there's Jupiter being expansion in your life, Saturn being what holds us back, as in the canvas that we draw upon the world. It's the borders of this frame of this video right now. Saturn is Kronos, the father of Poseidon and Hades and Zeus. And Uranus being the abyss of realization that we are directly connected to the crown, and it's the ability to travel beyond the abyss into the crown. Neptune being wisdom, and it's spirituality, and Saturn is also understanding. So, and what was the other planets there? Venus being love and abundance, and yeah, so Pluto is a crown as well. Pluto is the crown for some aspects of astrology. I don't forget about Pluto. My Scorpio is in Pluto, so. Well, I thought that was something I'd like to share. I love the Zodiacs, and I've studied them for quite some time. If you have any questions on how to look up your own natal chart, I'd look up a thing called astrolab.com or something like that, and it's a site. I'll put a link in there so you can type it in and see what your zodiacs look like. Wishing you a blessed rest of your day, that you may experience the most vibrant expressions in this life, and I wish you all the most wondrous experiences of love and compassion. So have a blessed rest of your day.